Good evening and welcome to CHS Field for Sub-State 8 playoff action, as this will be the third meeting on the season between Tri-City Maroon, the number 9 seed who knocked off Chisago Lakes to make it to the play-in game, taking on the number 1 seed Tri-City Red. These teams met twice during the regular season. One of the very first games of the year, as Tri-City Red won at Irondale 16-1 in 5 innings. There you see Trevor Steffen, who's the starting pitcher today for Tri-City Red. And then the rematch was at the very end of the regular season as Red blanked Maroon 6-0 at Moundsview. Here you see the Tri-City Maroon starting lineup. Batting leadoff is usual as Carson Schicker. Batting second baseman Mason Gallagher. Batting third, right fielder Dan Foley. Then we have first baseman Carter Jorgensen. Batting fifth is the designated hitter, Dan Swanson. Then we have third baseman Eric Osasi. Then shortstop Charlie Saylor. Batting eighth is the catcher Max Strong. And batting ninth is left fielder Luke Janicek. And they're DHing for the pitcher Dylan Irving. Defensively for Red, it goes like this. Justin Langer at first, Joey Lawson at second, Ryan Nickel at short, Ross Indekoffer at third. Again, one of the best left sides of the infield you're going to see in Legion Ball. Batting in left field, is Channing Cole. Center field, Jeff LeMay. Right field, Eric Holloman. Catching as usual, coming back from college, Nate Fredrickson. And on the mound, Trevor Steffen. First one is high. We'll get into some of the earlier action in a moment. They already announced a couple of those games, Forest Lake and White Bear with victories. Boy, that one looked pretty good, but just missed 2-0. Of course, in Sub-State 7, which also has a good number of 4th District teams, there was a huge upset. That one's outside. Oh. Okay, I was wrong on those two. As the number 8 seed Oakdale knocked off the number 1 seed and 4th District champion Hamlin Purple 14-11. That one is well high, 3-1. So now Hamlin Purple has to try and come all the way through the losers bracket. So a 5-pitch walk to Carson Schicker, and that'll bring up Gallagher. Also, Rosetown with a mild upset, the 5 seed beating the 4, 11-6. Matamidi squeaked by West St. Paul 2-1, and Fridley Gold had their way with Hamlin Red 18-8. That one's on the corner for a strike. Mason Gallagher's played second base the majority of the games that we've seen him this year. This one hit slowly to third. Indekoffer was in anyway on the bunt. That was a very close play at second, and he does beat it out at first. So it actually helped Indekoffer there that he was in case of a bunt to make the play on that. Otherwise, he probably doesn't get Schicker at second. So this will bring up Dan Foley. That one's across for a strike. Again, in the play-in game, Maroon beat Chisago Lakes 9-2. And so that knocked Chisago Lakes out of Sub-State 8. Gallagher on first, one away. That is fouled out of play. Forest Lake really had their way with the Burnsville Pythons, 17-2 in 7 innings. Again, these games will be 9 innings for the playoffs instead of in the regular season where they are 7. Stillwater beat Tri-City Blue, a new addition to Sub-State 8, 7-4. And then White Bear with a mild upset beating the 4 seed Lionel Lakes Centennial 6-1. So the winner of tonight's game will get White Bear Lake, and the loser will take on Lino Lakes. As after tonight, everything switches over to White Bear, either at the north or the south campus, mostly at the south. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by Stefan. So there's 2 away.
Now the first baseman, Carter Jorgensen.
This brings up Carter Jorgensen. Usually splits time between third base and first base. Also does some starting pitching. Nice job there by Fredrickson to frame that one. And that's got to be difficult for a player like Fredrickson to keep in baseball shape as a catcher when you're not playing at the college level. But it doesn't look like he's missed a step. 1-1. That one's fouled away. And also earlier today, a remarkable comeback in the losers bracket in 7. The North St. Paul 39ers were up in Hamlin Purple 8-2, almost ready to knock Purple out. And then Purple scored 7 straight to beat the 39ers 9-8. Swing and a miss, nasty pitch there by Stefan, as I'll do it for the top of the first. 2 strikeouts, no hits there for Maroon.
Just a reminder to everyone, these are 9 games in sub-state.
So again, Tri-City Red and Hamlin Purple tied at 11-3. They split their season series, but by the difference of 1 run, Hamlin Purple is technically the 4th district champion and Red in 2nd. As Dylan Irving getting ready to start here for Maroon. As he has done many a time this year for Irondale and Maroon. Here's the batting order for Red, leading off center fielder Jeff LeMay, then shortstop Ryan Nickel. Batting third is first baseman Justin Langer, and big third baseman Ross Indelkoffer. Batting fifth is the DH Ben Jepko, and batting sixth, second baseman Joey Lawson. Right fielder Eric Holloman, left fielder Channing Cole, catcher Nate Fredrickson, batting ninth, and they are DHing for the pitcher Trevor Stefan, who actually is not a bad hitter in his own right, but he's not hitting today. Defensively for Maroon, at first base Carter Jorgensen, second base Mason Gallagher, shortstop Charlie Saylor, third base Eric Osaski, left field Luke Janicek, center field the very speedy Carson Schicker, right field Dan Foley, catching is Matt Strong, and Dylan Irvine on the mound. Former Tri-City Red, Mounds View, all Big Ten Gopher pitcher Seth Rosine, off to a very good start at AA Richmond for the Flying Squirrels. Of course, he was with the Saints. Did not give up an earned run in 13 appearances, but he's pitched 5 different times at Richmond and has only given up 1 earned run. Just missed. Again, Tri-City Red is automatically entered into the state tournament, which will start on the 28th. That one just above the belt. We'll get into some possible matchups here later on. Red did not get an easy draw. They play Southern Minnesota. Swing and a miss. I'll have to credit that one. They likely will get either New Ulm Gold or one of the Mankato teams, either East or West. There's Mankato National, which is the better of the teams, and then Mankato American, is fouled back at the plate. The winner of Sub-State 8, likely either Tri-City, Stillwater, or Forest Lake, will get the winner of Sub-State 5, which would likely be the better Burnsville team, or Woodbury Blue. It's Woodbury Blue led by Max Meyer, one of the best pitchers in the state, bar none. Swinging and a miss. As LeMay goes down on strikes. The winner of Sub-State 7, again, Hamlin Purple, now kind of up against it in the loser's bracket. Oakdale playing Rosetown and Matamidi playing Fridley Gold, arch rivals there. So the winner likely will come out of that, as that one's across for a strike. Would get the winner of Sub-State 15, again, one of the real outstate sections. That one hit sharply, but it's drifting high in the air, and making the catch is Janisek for out number 2. So the winner of 7 would likely get either Waconia or Cold Spring. And Tri-City Red plays 1 o'clock on Friday the 28th at CHS. As you can tell, you've got the St. Paul Airport not too far from here. Good pitch there. The winner of this Sub-State plays 1 p.m. at Siebert Field on the 28th. And the winner of 7, interesting, they moved the game up. That one just missed. 8:30 in the morning at Bethel against the winner of, against Sub-State 15. Well, I hope they get to stay overnight on Thursday night. I'm sure they are. Nice framing job there by Strong, and a nice pitch on the outside corner. 1-2. Here to Justin Langer. Drifting back a little bit, and under it is Foley. He'll make the play. So that'll do it for the top of the first. No hits for either team, no score. This is CTV Sports coverage of
staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
top of the second we go for Maroon. This will be Dan Swanson, Eric Osowski, and Charlie Saylor. Swing and a miss, and a healthy cut there. Dowling just outside. Swing and a miss, as Stefan took a little off that one. Stefan Langer and Matt Larson were the usual starting pitchers for Mounds View this year. And Dylan Irving and Jorgensen, among others, usual starting pitchers for the Knights. That one hung up there just a tad. This one hit sharply just by the diving second baseman and up the middle for a solid single. Good effort there by Joey Lawson, but couldn't quite get to it. So again, this brings up Eric Osaski. This one hit high and on a line, but right there making the play is Channing Cole. These teams played a non-conference game in high school ball as Irondale beat Mounds View, scoring a good number of runs late to pull off the win. First time Irondale had beaten Mounds View in a while. That one just misses outside. And people had figured that Red would come out guns a-blazing in that first Legion game, and they did, as they beat Maroon by the run rule. Coming in and making the play is center fielder Jeff LeMay. So quickly 2 away here in the top of the second. Again, Sub-State 8 play continues through early Sunday. This one looped just over the second baseman. There's the right fielder, boy, trying to go to third base, and out by a mile is Swanson. That was not hit very hard. And also you factor in Holloman was playing in quite a bit, and ill-advised idea of going to third base. So after the out on the base paths, we go to the bottom of the second, and this will bring up Indelhofer, Jepko, and Lawson for Rosetown. St. Paul Saints have been struggling a little bit of late. They had a decent lead in their division, but now are in second place. And when you lose a player like Seth Rosine, and they lost one of their better hitters also to the minor league system, the regular minor league system, not the independent one. Well, if you cut at that one, swing and a miss. Is in the coffer going for the downs in that one. He hit one of the longest home runs I've seen this year at Rosetown when they beat the Rockets 6-5. Good off-speed pitch, just missed. Again, Indelhofer and Ryan Nickel were recently in the Minnesota High School All-Star Series. Not a good cut at that one. I think he'd like another swing at it, but that one's fouled well out of play. Swing and a miss, an outside pitch there. And the second strikeout for Irving here early on, as this brings up Ben Jepko. They list Indelhofer at 6'2", 210. That might be a little conservative. Nice off-speed pitch there, across for a strike. As you can see, Schicker there in center field, playing Jepko a little bit to pull. 0-2. It certainly seems like Dylan Irving has his best stuff tonight. That one hit sharply off the glove of the second baseman Gallagher. And rounding hard at first was Jepko, but he wisely stays there at first base. So an error charge to Jepko, even though it was hit sharply, he was set for it. So this brings up Joey Lawson with a runner on first.
Joey Lawson out there, number red.
That one just missing. Speed hung up there and outside. Loser of this game will have to try and go all the way through the losers bracket. That is never easy. This one hit sharply to short. Flipped to second. Took him a little while, and the throw to first as Jorgensen, I think, was anticipating it was going to be a bit off, so he went off the bag wisely to make sure he kept it in front of him. So that certainly looked like it could have been a double play ball, but first of all, Saylor bobbled it a bit, and then the flip from Gallagher might have been offline, and so Jorgensen figured to be safe, but it's a moot point as this is hanging up and will be caught by Foley as we have no score after two. Top of the third, as this is the 9-1-2 hitters for Maroon. Luke Janicek, Carson Chicker, and Mason Gallagher. Red will lose about half of their players from this year's team. Obviously, LeMay and Fredrickson, since they finished their freshman college years. I don't know if any of the others can come back next year, the ones that just graduated high school. Whereas Maroon is only losing two players, Janicek, who's hitting, and Dan Swanson, the DH. Wow. Just a bit outside. Then comes back with one right there in the corner. So that certainly bodes well for Maroon. They're going to have a real strong nucleus coming back for next season. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Trevor Steffen. This brings up the leadoff hitter, Carson Chicker. Walked in the first and was barely forced out at second. Again, in the 16-team state tournament, you have the 15 sub-states and the automatic qualifier. What a beautiful off-speed pitch there. With which in this case is Tri-City Red. I think Edina is hosting it in 2018. They've already set it up for the next couple of seasons, because that one just misses outside. It does take a lot of work to arrange this. I know Steve Graisley, the former All-State pitcher, had a lot to do with it. This one loops into shallow right field. And the third hit of the day for Maroon.
Second baseman Mason Gallagher.
So this brings up Gallagher. As again, the first day, that Friday the 28th, there are 4 groupings at 4 separate fields. This one hit sharply, and coming over, making the play is the right fielder. Boy, Schicker went way too far off of first base. And second base running blunder by Maroon, as they're going to get knocked out here of the 3rd inning. It was hit well, but it wasn't to where you figure Schicker would be going full speed, but he did, and it cost him.
Here's a first down. It's a 10-yard gain. Touchdown, Maroon.
Bottom of the 3rd, as we are still scoreless. Both pitchers working very effectively so far.
Channing Cole.
This will bring up Channing Cole, Nate Frederickson, and LeMay, the 8-9-1 hitters. Quickly across for a strike. Oh, and 2. This one hit sharply to second. Easy play there for Mason Gallagher. Over to first.
Number 2, the catcher, Nate Frederickson.
Here is Nate Frederickson. Ian Bond has started a few games for Red and Moundsview during the year, but he is a freshman. We're just finishing his freshman year, so it stands to reason you'd go with more of your veterans here in playoff action. That one looping foul. It's an unusual sound off the composite bats these days. It's not like the ping you used to get from the aluminums. Sounds a little bit like a couple of billiard balls clicking together. Whoa. Again, unlike regular season Legion play, you do not get courtesy runners. You normally could for the pitcher or the catcher. This one looped into right field, and a nice play there by Foley coming in. So quickly again, 2 away here in the third for the leadoff man, Jeff LeMay. He played up at St. Scholastica this year. They had another excellent season. Two-thirds of their usual outfield were two really good all-around athletes at Roseville, the Polvard brothers, Austin and Andrew. Their father Keith was a real good athlete in his own right. That one inside. Their younger sister Sierra is a phenomenal hockey player and probably even better at lacrosse. Outside corner. The umpire's been very consistent on that, which is good. Foul tip. Dismissed a little outside. Again, they did do a little bit of resectioning in that Tri-City Blue had normally, I think, been in District 2. They're in District 1 this year and ended up with the 7th seed, losing to Stillwater 7-4. And he draws a walk.
Shortstop number 5, Ryan.
So the second base runner for Red. Again, Stillwater, a real force to be reckoned with. They were #1 in the state in high school ball for a while. And they have had some incredible battles over the past 2 years with Forest Lake, both in high school and Legion ball. And again, with Red automatically qualifying, likely I'll come down to Stillwater or Forest Lake for the Sub-State 8 championship. This one slicing just foul. As you can see in the background there, the bullpens. I don't think we'll see any action there for a while. That one fell back to the screen. Again, when you get to a tournament like this, pitching is at a premium, and both teams in good shape for that. Maroon with 9 different players who can pitch, and Red with 12. Davidson, Larson, and Steffen primarily just regular pitchers. That one outside, and that'll be a steal at second base. Again, Nickel normally batted leadoff for the high school team, and just a phenomenal all-around athlete, but especially in baseball. He's playing Augustana next year. And they have a superb program as that one's outside. This one looped into left and backing up, camping under it, and making the play is Luke Janicek. So that'll do it for the third, as we are still scoreless here at CHS.
Here's a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
Well,
is the 25th annual Rose Fest Parade.
Welcome to this edition of the North Suburban Beat.
Hello and welcome to New Brighton Now. This is the show about the people, places, and events in the city of New Brighton.
Top of 4 as we have the 3, 4, 5 hitters scheduled for Maroon. Starting off with the lefty Dan Foley.
Dan Foley.
Again, the state tournament, which runs from July 28th to the 31st. We'll start off in 4 brackets of 4, which actually is a really smart idea to where everybody plays at approximately the same time. Now we just missed. Again, whoever comes out of Sub-State 8, this one fouled sharply out of play. We'll play the winner of Sub-State 5 and those games at Siebert Field. And then whoever comes out of Sub-State 7, which is 4 more of the 4th District teams, they are playing at Hargis Park at Bethel. And the other grouping is at really nice ballpark at Dunning, Tony Stone. We're standing over there by St. Paul Central. Then after that, the games will primarily move to CHS and Bethel. Off the pitcher. Great job there by Nickel to recover, and the throw over to first in time. We hope Steffen's okay, but what a recovery by Nickel. There's Foley very sharply hit up the middle. Here's Carter Jorgensen. He struck out in the first. Nice diving attempt by Indelkoffer. He would not have been able to make a play anyways. So an infield single. By Jorgensen. Runner on first, 1 away here in the top of the 4th. Throw back over to first. Sure, an amazing story. Kevin Millar coming back as part of the 25th anniversary of the Saints. Just missing high and outside. And the other team, I believe it was Winnipeg, agreed to let him have 1 at bat. And what does he do? He pulls a natural and hits a home run. He's 45 years old, and of course he probably took some batting practice earlier in the day, but that's about it. He had a 10-year Major League career, mostly with the Marlins, and of course the Red Sox when they won their first World Series in forever. And another throw to first. There is some very good speed at the top of the order for both teams. Here with Maroon, Schicker, Gallagher, and Foley. And of course, Nickel for Tri-City Red. His little conference on the mound. Again, Stillwater playing Forest Lake. That was a little break for Red to get the #1 seed, so those two can beat up each other again for the upteenth time. Fouled away. That'll be one of the games Thursday at White Bear South. As, the Saints are back from their road trip. High and outside. And whoever wins this contest will get White Bear on their home field. Longtime White Bear coach, Joe Janitsky. Actually beat Creighton a couple times during the regular season. This one very high, shallow infield, played there by Endelkoffer. So 2 away here in the 4th.
Number 10, Eric Osaski.
This brings up Eric Osaski. We'll have a little conference on the mound. Again, there is talk of reunion of the 1999 national champion Tri-City Red team. So that was back when Mounds View and Irondale played together. That would be neat to see. Many of those fine athletes went to Snail Lake Elementary. Nick Wagner, Steve Graisley, Pete Widowich, Eric Logard among them. Eric pitched the championship game. Steve, of course, was the workhorse. That season, all in all, they were 64-5. That is amazing. Here's Osaski with a runner on and 2 away. This one looping into right, and it's just going to fall in there for a hit. Going over to third base is Jorgensen, so runners at the corners with 2 away. So this brings up Charlie Saylor as Maroon getting the first runner over to third base.
Shortstop number 6, Charlie Saylor.
So here's Charlie Saylor. Well, this is intriguing. They now have to pull Trevor Steffen. I don't know if he might have pitched a bit at the end of the regular season to where this was planned and he wasn't going to go for more than maybe 50 pitches or so. But Red is going to switch things up here. And this is number 13, Adam Davidson. Again, lefty pitcher, one of the gentlemen we mentioned that primarily just pitches. That's one thing I think that could shorten the length of games a little bit, at least at the major leagues, is cut down on the number of pitches you get off the actual mound. They're already throwing from one in the bullpen. By and large, pitchers are well warmed up as it is coming off of their bullpen session. As you see there, you can check out past, present, and future games and schedules for a multitude of sports, but especially Legion Baseball here during the summer at ctvnorsuburbs.org. Davidson with a little bit of a sidearm delivery. But it's from like the shoulder level. It's not your more traditional, say, 3/4. So Osaski will track back over to first base. And first and third, 2 away. Jorgensen on third. And this brings up the shortstop. In that game at Rosetown, it was really fun to watch. Red coming back to beat Rosetown 6-5. Well, that was curious. I think Maroon, as they have been wont to do, was maybe trying to get a guy in a rundown to score the runner from third, but Red wasn't going to have anything to do with it, so they hold Jorgensen at third base, and somehow Osaski sneaks in behind. Shot to third, and the throw by Nickel in the third, unable to come up with it, was Lang. And so Maroon strikes first to take a 1-0 lead. It looked like Nickel didn't quite come up with it cleanly, and then just a hurried throw to first, and Jorgensen unable to come up with it. So this brings up Max Strongo with the runners back at the corners. Throw down to second, cut off. Well, so far that's worked out all right for Maroon. It didn't turn out so well in the game against Rosetown, but they've been able to advance both runners and get out of the force play. This one popped up, easily playable, and Langer will get Red out of the fourth. One pitching change and one run for Rosetown.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Bottom of the fourth, as we have the heart of the order here for Red, Langer, Endelkoffer, and Jepko. Yeah, right, some Frankie.
Leading off the bottom of four for Tri-City Red, the first baseman, Justin Langer.
A big fan of old Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. Sometimes to my friends' dismay when I play it on the jukebox. Starting in early August will be the high school football schedule. Oh, that one hung up there. That one fouled back. Roseville starts off against Anoka, of all things. St. Anthony hosts St. Agnes. Moundsview hosts St. Michael Albertville. That'll actually be a really good game. And Irondale hosts Spring Lake Park. Tierno Grace at Cretan. Well, that'll be a tough one for Cretan. They have not been up to their usual standards in football. Strong couldn't quite hang on to that one. That would have been a difficult one for a foul tip. That's why it's a little surprising. Cretan actually struggled a bit in the high school season, but they sure put it together for the American Legion season, going 11-3 and winning the 4th district. High fastball, fouled away. And Langer can cover a good bit of the plate with his size. This one hit sharply, just over Sailor and into left center for a solid single. The first one of the day.
Third baseman, Ross.
And here comes Endelhoff. It seems as though the transition at Moundsview went very smoothly. Bob Madison to an associate's job at the high school league main office. Jim Galvin from football to athletic director. And his longtime assistant, Aaron Moberg, from assistant coach to head coach. Swing and a miss. Another healthy cut. And look, Hofford does not get cheated up there very often. It will be interesting to see if Aaron decides to still stay as girls hockey coach. I figure that'd be tough to try and do back-to-back seasons like that in the fall and the winter. And that one's fouled away. Maroon inside. Also, that opens up a Fayed teaching spot at the high school. I wonder if Dave Leeser might be interested in that. Langer at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. They got LeMade a third after a walk and a stolen base, but he was stranded there. This one hit high and foul.
Please return all foul balls for the dials, please.
This thing with these bats, it's not a very pleasing sound. It almost sounds like the bat's breaking every time you hit a ball with it. Easy throw to first. And the Copper doing a good job staying alive. Head coach for Red is Nick Larson. His assistants are Lars Anderson, Scott Becker, Jake Hanslick, and Brett Becker. Of course, Gail Collada does a phenomenal job as the team administrator, also with the 4th District website. I'm sure she'll be heavily involved with the state tournament. Head coach for Maroon is Jordan Nelson, and his assistants are Nate Zell and Andy Peterson. Swing and a miss. A long at bat, but nice job by Dylan Irving to get his 3rd strikeout of the night.
The DH Ben Jeffco.
Here is Jeffco. He reached on an error in the 2nd and then was forced out at 2nd. Foul tip. It's the first I've seen of Max Strong, but he's done a really nice job behind the dish tonight. Usually it has been Kevin Ramirez. Ooh, good off speed. Must have just drifted a little inside. A little high and outside. Strong was contemplating throwing to first, then thought better of it. Allen's across for a strike. That one just misses outside. And we'll have a little powwow on the mound. last year. Again, I am still surprised as to why you go to single elim for the championship game, because Woodbury Blue was undefeated. Or excuse me, Forest Lake was undefeated. After Forest Lake beat them in the winner's bracket, finally beat Woodbury Blue 9-7. Woodbury then beat Wayzata in the third place game 9-2, and came back and beat Forest Lake 7-3, and that was all she wrote. Throw to second, but drawing the walk is Jepco, so it's a moot point. I do like the rule to where they can switch the losers bracket teams to prevent prior opponents from playing each other again. Forest Lake had a tough go of it. Chopper to the catcher, throw to first in time. Nice play again by Strong. So 2 away. And this brings up Eric Hulleman. He flew out to medium right field in the second. Neither Forest Lake or Wayzata did much in the Central Plains tourney. Forest Lake 0-2, Wayzata 1-2. Fouled away. Fouled away again. Langer at third, Jepco at second, with 2 away. In that first meeting on June 13th, Nickel was 5 for 5 on base, 2 walks, 2 triples, and he scored 3. He also knocked in 3. Lawson also had an excellent game. He reached 3 out of 4 times, scored 3 runs, and knocked in 2. We'll see what he does here. Fouled away again. Marathon at bat. Maybe a little break for Maroon as they get out of it, still with a 1-0 lead. Top of 5. And just like the third inning, it's going to be the 9-1-2 hitters. Janicek struck out in the third, as again out for his second inning of work is Davidson. Quickly 0-2. Well outside on a waste pitch. And the past 4 4th District MVPs all having a lot of success post Tri-City Red. That one outside again. Alec Abercrombie up at North Dakota State. Ben Mazinga, a freshman with the Gophers. Sam Henches signed an $800,000 deal with the Indians, but has had some elbow issues, I think fixed by Tommy John. Called strike 3 again in that inside corner that seems to be a little bigger than most. And Max Knutson, who I believe is still down at Nebraska, playing for former Major League stand-up Darren Erstad. Boy, that one looked pretty good. Again, a little bit more of that sidearm delivery. Figure that would especially be tough if you're a left-handed hitter, maybe not so much as a righty. High in the air, center field, camping under it is LeMay, and he'll make the play. So Schicker, 1 for 2 with a walk on the day. And this brings up Gallagher. He is 0 for 2. Hit a slow grounder to Indicoffer in the first, who made a nice play on it. Now hit a little more sharply. Hey, nice play there by Jordan Nelson. And then the liner to medium deep right center. Nice play made by Holloman. And Schicker strayed way too far for first base. This one looping just over the second baseman Lawson. So another little meeting on the mound. I don't think we have any lip readers out there, Adam. But it's always funny when you see players do that, covering up their mouths with their gloves. So here is Dan Foley. Cross for a strike. That one slung across a bit outside. Missing well outside. And Tri-City Red had an amazing run from 93 to 2000, winning 5 of the 8 state titles. More recently, it's been a Eden Prairie run. That one fouled away. Nice play, as venturing way over was Indicoffer, and that'll do it for Sky's looking ominous here at CHS, especially with that little lightning in the background. Again, as long as it's cloud to cloud, you're all right. If it's cloud to ground, that's when you start worrying. Bottom of the fifth we go. This brings up Channing Cole. He grounded out sharply, second to first in the third inning. Swing and a miss. As Irvine out for his fifth inning of work. He has only given up the one hit to Justin Langer, the one sharply over Saylor. Another strike. Fouled away. Again, there are 9 teams in sub-state number 8. Yeah, Maroon won the play-in game to knock out Chisago. That one just missed. By the end of Friday, excuse me, we'll be down to 4 teams. Boy, that one looked good. And again, after this game, everything shifts over to White Bear. Outside, full count. There's another plane coming into the downtown St. Paul Airport. Ooh. Just hitting him on the shoulder. And so Channing Cole will take first.
Catcher number 2, Nate Frederickson.
So here is Frederickson. Over in Sub-State 7, again, where you have Hamlin Purple, North St. Paul 39ers, who were just eliminated in that great comeback. Rosetown Hamlin Red. They're all playing over at Kinkle Field at McKnight. Well, this is unusual. 2 separate little meetings on the mound. Umpires giving Maroon a bit of discretion there. If you haven't been over there, it's Ralph Kinkle Field, and it's a very nice ballpark. Bunting foul. And Fredrickson with the flowing locks, graduated in 2016. But again, catchers of his caliber are tough to come by, so thankfully for Red, he came back for this season. As long as you're still under 19, you are eligible, and that's the case with Fredrickson and LeMay. Well, that should take the bunt out of the equation. I figure Fredrickson will try and shorten up his swing, make contact. He does, but this one's in the air, as ranging over and making a catch is Foley. That was interesting. I don't know if Foley lost that a little bit and had to recover or what happened, but yeah, you can see the coaches there. I think their heartbeat went up a little bit. That one high and outside. Jeff LeMay 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base. Those both came in the third. Inside corner. And the only run came in the top of the fourth. Jorgensen reached on a hit off of Holloman's glove and ended up scoring on the error by nickel, and errant throw to first. So an unearned run for Stefan as Davidson came in to relieve there in the middle of the fourth. Just missing the high outside corner. Sounds as though for the Twins' 30th anniversary of the '87 team, will be missing just a couple of players. Fall back to the screen. Don Baylor, he's going to be going out to Cooperstown next weekend for the Hall of Fame ceremonies. So he didn't really want to do 2 road trips. And Tom Bernansky's in a wedding. Closer look at the current Twins going with Bartolo Colon for a little bit. This one hit sharply to third. Nice play over to second to Gallagher for 1 to first. Ooh, that gets by the first baseman. And they're going to say interference on the runner going into second base. Wow. So Cole is out. And because he did not get out of the way, LeMay is out, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 5th.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Hey, God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And the skies are getting ever darker as we go here to the top of the 6th.
Here now, top of 6, Maroon. Carter.
It's interesting also you can't re-enter if you substitute for somebody. So essentially you're going by Major League rules here. This one looped high in the air, ranging in is the right fielder. And Holloman will make an easy play. This is very curious wording. Off speed, just missed. Again, Davidson coming in for Stefan in the 4th. All games are 9 innings. 5 innings constitutes a complete game if called due to weather or other uncontrollable event. Otherwise, it's a suspended game to be resumed at the point that it stopped. That's wide open to interpretation, I think. That one well low and outside. Swanson with a single in the first, thrown out by 20 feet, trying to go from second to third. Excuse me, first to third on a hit. And then popped up in the fourth. And a walk. One run, 6 hits, 1 error from Maroon. No runs. 1 hit, 1 error for Red. As scoring has been few and far between. Osaski lined out sharply to left in the second. Got a little looping base hit in the fourth and was stranded at third. Slice to right and just foul. Made good contact on that one. High and outside. Again, Red does have a lot of pitching options. The only thing is, you're going to be playing a lot of games in a short span of time. In theory, you could play 7 games over 5 days. This one hit sharply to left, ranging back and making a nice play is Channing Cole. Throw to first. Oh my goodness. The only thing I can figure is maybe Swanson forgot how many outs there were. Just another crazy base running blunder there by Maroon. It's difficult to tell if the Lightning is getting any closer, although it does look like, yeah. And this field getting used quite a bit with the Legion playoffs and the Saints. That one's across for a strike by Irving. You can see a couple little barren patches just in front of second base. That's an odd spot for them. Ryan Nichols, surprisingly 0 for 2. 2 flyouts to left. That one just missed. Well, the second base running mistake by Swanson on the night. And that got Red out of the top of the 6th. That is crunched to center field. So this will bring up Justin Langer. Langer flew out to medium deep right field in the first and had the first hit of the ball game for Red. A solid single over Saylor in the fourth. He was stranded at third. Across for a strike. Again, it would be surprising to see a bunt here with a hitter of Langer's caliber. Very high in the air. This should be playable for Jorgensen. He comes back into fair territory and he just barely makes the play. Smart move there by Nickel. He was told right on the bag. Again, with the dark sky and the lights on, this can be difficult. Here's Endelkoffer. This one hit high in the air, deep left field. This is gone into the bullpen area. And just like that, Red has taken the lead. A 2-run blast for Endelkoffer. Something tells me I've seen that before. You always have to be careful to him, and in this case, Endelkoffer makes Maroon pay. So 2-1 Red, only the third hit of the game for Tri-City Red, but they put two together here in the sixth to take the lead. Here is Jepko. That's across for a strike. We have had only the one substitution so far. Davidson coming in for Stefan to pitch. And of course, the pitching spot being hit here by Jepko. This one looping foul. I don't know if when you get closer to the championship game, if they have more than two umpires. I would think for the Legion tourney, you'd at least have three. That's what they normally have for the Saints games. Well, outside. Again, you're going to have 4 games at 4 sites, all on Friday the 28th. Red plays at 1. If they lose, they play right away. This one hit on one hop to short. Sailor with a nice throw over. And if they win, they would play at 7. Again, Red will get the winner of Sub-State 2, likely either New Ulm Gold or Mankato. Off the glove of Strong. In the high school regular season, Moundsview ended up 17-9. This is including playoffs. We just missed. Mankato West was 17-8. New Ulm was 16-7. Mankato East was 11-15. This one hit high in the air and foul. I know Rosetown played in the New Ulm tourney. They did pretty well down there. I'm curious as to why they decided to move up the games in the bracket at Bethel. That's the only one where they did that. Oh, a little high and outside again. And again, that's the one that the winner of Sub-State 7 plays bright and early at 8:30 in the morning. Strikeout, Strong with the 2-3 putouts. And that'll do it for the 6th, but Endelkoffer on the big blast makes it 2-1 Tri-City Red.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
Tap of the 7th. And some more Frank Sinatra. In Tri-City Red's second game, they'll get either Sub-State 6 or 13, as Davidson out there now for his third plus inning of work. Hit sharply to second. Nice play by Joey Lawson sliding over, and he will make the play on Charlie Saylor. The higher seeds there are Northfield and Prior Lake. So this brings up Strong. One out, top of the 7th, as Red gets on the board in the 6th on the true run homer by Endicoffer as he makes the play there. Strong high throw over to first. In Sub-State 13, the higher seeds are Buffalo and Spring Lake Park, of all things. It would be something if Spring Lake Park made it to the State Legion tourney. Two outs in the top of the 7th. And one outside. Luke Janasek trying to get off the schneid. He struck out in the 3rd and the 5th. Inside corner. This one hit sharply to 3rd. Endicoffer gobbles it up, and a nice play. Back-to-back shots to Ross. He takes care of those, and that'll do it for the top of the 7th. 2-1 Red as they'll be hitting. Yeah, I know a lot of those people, especially John Westerholtz, volunteer number 1. As we have a new pitcher here for Maroon, this is going to be Luke Janasek. Just missing. So a very strong outing for Dylan Irving. He goes 6 innings, giving up 2 runs, both earned. 3 hits. Two walks. And 4 strikeouts. Excuse me, 5 strikeouts. So Maroon going from a lefty to a righty. Swing and a miss there. A healthy cut by Holloman. Holloman flew out to medium right field in the second and struck out in the fourth. Low in the dirt. And so Holloman draws the leadoff walk.
Left fielder number 8, Channing Cole.
Here is Channing Cole. In a possible bunt situation here. Cole is 0 for 1 with a walk. Excuse me, he was hit by a pitch. Yeah, nice one there. And just barely. Out at first base. Yeah, that was actually a 3-2 count where he was hit by the pitch, so would have been a walk if it hadn't hit his shoulder. So Holloman on second, 1 away for Nate Fredrickson, and he's showing bunt. Instead, he pulls it back and takes a strike. Thought he might take a slash at it there. Swing and a miss. Trying to decoy Holloman, keep him close to second base. Doing a pretty good job of it. That one just low and outside. What you can sometimes do is hold the runner into a false sense of security if they do a regular routine and switch it up. Maybe try a pickoff play. Swing and a miss. So 2 away here in the 7th.
Center fielder Jeff LeMay.
So this brings up the leadoff man, Jeff LeMay. That one fouled away. Just on the outside corner by Janicek. LeMay calling time. Struck out in the first, walks and stole a base in the third, and hit into a fielder's choice in the fifth, and then was out on runner interference by Channing Cole, of all things. First time I've seen that called in a while. That one in the dirt, and making it to third on the wild pitch is Holloman. Low and outside, good stop by Strong. Again, he's really been strong behind the plate tonight for Maroon. It's probably a good thing those planes came in when they did. Two outs, runner on third as Red trying to extend their lead. But that's not going to happen. Pop up as Janicek right there, and he'll make the play. So that will do it for the seventh. Still 2-1 Red after 7. Oh, there's a switch. Frank Sinatra to a little country.
Now from Maroon, Carson Schicker.
So Carson Schicker, he has reached twice on a walk and a hit. He also was thrown out trying to go back to first base. Sometimes speed can be a dangerous thing. Nice pitch in there on the corner. And Davidson has done an excellent job in relief for Trevor Steffen. High in the air, right to the center fielder. He's actually going to come in a couple steps is LeMay. So this brings up Mason Gallagher. He is 1 for 3. Get into a fielder's choice in the first. Lined out to medium deep right center in the third. A well-hit ball. And then a looper over the second baseman. And there's another looper over the second baseman. They were contemplating actually throwing it to first. Try and get the force out.
Batting third for Maroon, Dan Foley.
So this will bring up Dan Foley. 1 on, 1 out. He is 0 for 3. He was robbed in the fourth. A shot went off of Steffen. I don't know if maybe that's one of the reasons he was taken out of the game. But the nickel recovered, got it, and threw over to first. Throw to first. to the screen. I had the pleasure of going to a couple of Saints games this year, one with my father and one on a bus trip in honor of a good friend of ours who passed away, Brent Johnson. Foley calls for time. Oh boy. That actually went behind Foley. Davidson has done a nice job as that one's fouled away. Again, both teams with plenty of pitching options. That one looping a bit outside. So after that first day, Friday the 28th, 4 teams will be eliminated. It'll be down to 12. Four in the winner's bracket and then 8 in the loser's bracket. Nice stop there by Fredrickson to keep Gallagher at first. Gallagher with a nice night, 2 for 4. This one pulled in between first and second. Gallagher was running, and he will easily make it over to third base. It gets by the third baseman, and he's going to score. And advancing to second is Foley. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Gallagher was going to score on that one, but he decided to play it safe, which is not a bad move. So now it's second and third, 1 out. And we are going to have a pitching change. But again, all in all, a very good outing for Adam Davidson, coming in relief of Trevor Steffen. And so taking over is Ross Indelkoffer. Interesting. This is the first time that I've seen him pitch. So Ben Jepko is going to come in at first base. That'll take the DH out of the equation. And Langer will go over to third. Well, that's what they'd want anyway. You want to keep Indelkoffer in the lineup. Again, the State American Legion Baseball Tournament will take place July 28th to 31st. Some of it will also be online. The games that we are now covering on nnlegionhub.com. But again, Tri-City Red hosting the State Legion Tournament. They will play at 1 p.m. on Friday, July 28th against the winner of Sub-State 2. Of course, that's still to be determined. Very much looking forward to that. Again, the winner of Sub-State 8, or if Tri-City Red were to win, the second place team will play their first game over at Siebert Field, another gem of a ballpark. Against the winner of Substate 5. And the winner of Substate 7 will play very early in the morning, 8:30, over at Bethel. I'm assuming we'll be able to keep abreast of the other games while they're going on. So this brings up Carter Jorgensen, second and third. One away here in the 8th, and a great chance for Maroon to regain the lead. Nice pitch there for a strike. Well, Indelkoffer has a great arm to first base, so it stands to reason he'd be a pretty good pitcher. Fouled away, sharply hit by Jorgensen. He is 1 for 3, struck out in the first. Got a base hit and scored the only run for Maroon in the 4th so far, and flew out to shallow right in the 6th. Low in the dirt, nice stop by Fredrickson. Again, here there's a considerable amount of room to the backstop. This one hit sharply in the air, and this is going to get by the center fielder and roll all the way to the warning track. 2 runs will score. Jorgensen all the way over to third base with a stand-up triple. So that makes it 3-2 in favor of Maroon. So both those runs will be charged to Davidson as he gives up 2 in about 4 innings of work. Squeeze play attempt, and I think Red saw that coming. He had to pull back because that was high and inside. There's no way he could have bunted it. Oh boy. I guess I would have gone more with a safety squeeze, because if he bunts that, he's likely to pop it up and you're probably going to get a double play out of it. Well, now 2 away, bases are empty. And that one fouled away. So this is now Colin Ward hitting. He just finished up his sophomore year at Irondale. That one just missed. This one hit sharply to right, and instead of a 2-run lead for Maroon, it's only 1. But Ward does make it to first on a nice liner to shallow right. This brings up Ben Osaski. He is 1 for 3. Excuse me, Eric Osaski, my mistake. That one a bit high. And that's one nice thing for Indelkoffer. His arm's already pretty loose from playing infield. So pretty easy transition to the pitcher's mound. This one hits sharply to center field. That'll fall in for a hit. Ward will hold up at second. So first and second, 2 away. As here comes Nate Fredrickson again for a little meeting of the minds. Charlie Saylor 0 for 3. He has hit the ball hard twice, reached on an error in the 4th, and hit sharply to Lawson in the 7th. He made a nice play on that one. Well, now coach coming out, so we'll go for an official conference. Smart move to bring out a little water. We've seen Saylor a lot recently, both for Irondale and Maroon. It was fun to cover those 3 games, especially the 2 at Rosetown, a park I'm very familiar with. You see Max Strong in the on-deck circle, still keeping his leg pads on. This is crushed to the left center field gap. Ward scores. Osowski coming around, and he chugs in, and he'll score as well. And that makes it 5-2 Maroon. Again, what could have been? It could be 6-2 with 1 out, but now still a great inning put together for Maroon as they have manufactured 4 runs to take a 3-run lead. That one misses high and outside. Throw down to second, and just barely getting back is Saylor. Outside, drawing the walk is Strong. So Tri-City Maroon has batted around. This is the 9-hitter in Luke Janasek. Still looking for his first hit. Kind of wish they put a limit on the player conferences on the mound. Well, I think what's wearing out those spots in the infield is the umpire. The base umpire, that is. If you look exactly where he's standing. Swing and a miss. And Janasek came in to pitch in the 7th and did well. Getting outs on a sacrifice bunt, strikeout and pop-up. That was fouled to the screen. Just missing the outside corner. I think Endlecoffer wanted that one. Saylor on second, Strong on first. 4 runs in. Gallagher, Foley, Ward, and Osaski have all scored. Sharply just fouled. High and foul. Right there by the red dugout. Good effort here by Luke Janicek to stay alive. High and off the catcher's glove, and both runners will advance on the passed ball. And that's one of those borderline ones, but you figure when it goes off the glove, it's more the catcher than the pitcher. Both runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss. As Endlecoffer gets out of a big jam in the 8th, but in the process gives up 4 runs, 12 hits for Maroon as they now lead 5-2.
It is a first down. It's a 10-yard gain. Touchdown, Maroon.
Bottom of 8 we go. 5-2 in favor of Maroon. Scheduled hitters for Red are Nickel, Langer, and Endlecoffer. Nickel 1 for 3 with a sharp single in the 6th to the center fielder. And he scored the first run of the game. There's the 2-run homer by Endlecoffer. Nice pitch by Janicek, because that's across for a strike. Just missing outside. The Lightning is getting closer. Just missing inside, almost hit Nickel. A little surprising, he doesn't use any batting gloves. You don't see too many high school collegiate players that do that anymore. Especially shots closer to the handle. That tends to really sting the hands. This one hit sharply, but right there is the second baseman Gallagher. Throw over, nice scoop there by Jorgensen. So this brings up Justin Langer. He is 1 for 3. Flew out in the first hit of the game in the 4th, and pop up in the 6th. Turned out to be a nice play by Jorgensen. It was right by the first base bag. As Langer switched from first to third. Just missing. Another little conference here between Strong and Janicek. Kind of reminds me of in Casino when Joe Pesci was always trying to cover his mouth because, at least according to him, the FBI did actually have lip readers. Second hit batter, as Langer will reach with one away. Yeah, the umpire definitely knows where to stand. Just put 2 and 2 together on that. Last inning. So here is Endelkoffer. 1 for 3 with the 2-run blast that for a while gave Red the lead. In the dirt, wild pitch, and advancing is Langer. I was talking about Bartolo Colon with the Twins. I was looking at 87. For a while, of course, the Twins had Joe Niekro with the infamous Emery board. Off the catcher again, and quickly Langer goes from first to third. But also the Twins that year, for a while, had a way past his prime Steve Carlton. We're gonna have Powell on the mound. Of course, Steve, one of the best left-handed pitchers of all time, but by then, he didn't have anything left. Frank Viola said it was really kind of painful to see him out there. But Bartolo is 44. He actually pitched against Paul Molitor on a few occasions. So he broke a couple of his bats. Molitor didn't remember that. He was the same age as Brad Radke, and Radke retired 10 years ago. So Langer on third, one away. Well, this wouldn't be a bad spot to walk Endelkoffer. Yeah, you're putting the tying run at the plate, but that's what Endelkoffer can do. That one a little low. sure Janicek's not going to give him anything good here. That was wrong. That was clobbered, but foul. Oh, I'm surprised. I figured wouldn't give Immelkoffer too much. That was inside enough to where Ross couldn't hold up on it. Three and one here as Janicek, who started in the 7th, right outside. And again, that's not really a bad thing for Maroon.
Number 19, Ben Jeffco.
Sounds like some little kid wants his dad. Runners at the corners. Well, Maroon's done a lot of interesting things with this in the past. I don't know if Red is going to be that ambitious. Trailing by 3. Also, Immelkoffer is not exactly a speed demon. And you can't sub for him and then re-enter, at least not in the playoffs. So it's my understanding that you just suspend the game from where it's at, since it's in the playoffs, which makes all the sense in the world. You wouldn't want to cancel a game in the 8th inning if you don't absolutely have to. That one a little outside. That one just missed. Jepko reached on an error, walked, and grounded out, short to first. He's having a good at bat here. And you figure if you're going to score a Langer from third, it's going to have to be relatively deep in the outfield. Infielders, of course, hoping for a double play. This one looped into right field, ranging over and making the play. Throw coming in, and yeah, Langer unable to go on that one. Beautiful throw by the right fielder, Foley. Cool. Well, Dan Foley helping keep it a 3-run lead for Maroon as Langer likely would have been out at the plate as the rain is really picking up. So this is Joey Lawson. He is 0 for 2. Fielder's choice, strikeout, and a sacrifice. Eric Holloman on deck. He walked back in the 7th. Little high. Throw back over to first, not in time. This one hit sharply. Nice play by the third baseman, but can't make the throw over to first. Infield single and a run batted in for Lawson. A difficult play, especially on the diving attempt like that, and wisely hanging on to the ball. So 5-3 in the coffer at second, Lawson at first for Holloman. Just missing. And there are some sub-states, most of them wrap up on Sunday, but some go through until Monday. Tri-City Red coming into the playoffs was ranked number 2 in the state. Forest Lake just behind them at number 3. Now, Sub-State 1 is actually an example of that. Their championship game's at 4 on Monday, and then an IF game at 7. And another little meeting. Lightning is picking up and getting ever closer. I've heard Sleepy Eyes Field is a real nice one. Three and one here to Holloman. That one's high, ball 4. Sub-State 5, which the winner of this grouping will meet. They're playing all their games at Alley Magnet over in Burnsville. That's a nice little complex. So coming in to pitch from right field is Dan Foley. Well, I figure he's loose after that cannon throw he made to home. So Janicek is going to go back to the outfield. Foley will come in to pitch. And now some thunder. So bases loaded, 2 away. Channing Cole is the scheduled hitter. After a few warm-up pitches here. You can also check out CTV 14 Sports, both on Facebook and Twitter. Again, Strong really doing a nice job behind the plate tonight for Maroon. In northern Minnesota, boy, this was something. Bemidji, the #1 seed in Sub-State 14. I'm guessing this isn't a misprint. They beat Thief River Falls 27-1. Boy. And then in another quarterfinal game, Moorhead beat Detroit Lakes 19-3. Channing Cole has had an interesting day. Hard grounder to second. Hit by a pitch. And a very nice sacrifice bunt. He almost beat it out at first base. But Red did not score in the seventh. Well, it wasn't for lack of effort. Holloman made it over to third. 1-1 here. Oh my. That's a strike, and the umpire is going to suspend it here. I certainly do not blame him one bit. Again, you factor in the thunder coming closer. That's also a good indication of the lightning and where that is going to be. So we're going to have a weather delay, as again you see in the background there. It's getting awfully dangerous, and you have to err on the side of caution. As you see the players coming in from the bullpen also. So we'll take a break for the weather. Good afternoon and welcome to the continuation of the game from CHS last night that was stopped due to lightning and rain. And certainly was a smart move, as we are now here at White Bear Lake High School. In the background are the Lino Lakes players, mostly from Centennial, as they'll play the loser of this game. So just to recap, we have bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Indelkoffer at third, Lawson at second, Holloman at first. Dan Foley now on the mound. It's a 1-2 count here to Channing Cole. So a big pitch, just missing outside. Also, we have different umpires today, which stands to reason. I'd imagine they'll be doing a game or two later on today as well. Went outside, 3-2. I think you also see a few of the Rosetown players there behind home plate. So the runners will be going on the pitch. Here it is. Foul tip, holding on, is strong, and a huge strikeout for Dan Foley, as he had just come in the bottom of the 8th. 5-3, Maroon somehow holds on to the lead. We'll be back after this.
Here's a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
Welcome to the 25th annual Rose Fest Parade.
Welcome to this edition of the North Suburban Beat.
Hello and welcome to New Brighton Now. This is the show about the people, places, and events in the city of Brighton.
Top of 9. Again, Maroon scored 4 big runs in the 8th. It could have been more. But Gallagher, Foley, Ward, and Osaski all scored the big hits of the inning. This one hit sharply to second. Nice play there, and quickly over to first by Joey Lawson. Jorgensen with a 2 RBI triple that was a rocket by the center fielder out to the warning track. He ended up thrown out on a suicide squeeze attempt. They didn't make contact. Really nice curveball there. And then a two-run double by Charlie Saylor. Hit it in a very similar spot by the center fielder. And that's fouled away. We have a new pitcher here for Red. This is Matt Larson. Who had an excellent year for the Mounds View team, and he gets a strikeout there, quickly 2 away. Again, this is at White Bear as CHS is being used for the Saints today, as they are back in town. That one a little high and inside. Actually, my mistake. I think that's Tri-City Blue players back there. Also there, briefly I saw Gail Collada. Tri-City Blue beat the Burnsville Pythons to knock them out 7-5. That's the Burnsville #2 team. The #1 team actually has a very good shot at making it to state, called strike 3. So a great inning for Larson. As that'll do it for the top of the 9th. Last chance for Tri-City Red. They will have the 9-1-2 hitter scheduled. So Foley, after striking out Channing Cole, again, it was a 1-2 count at the end of play at CHS. Gets a strikeout on the full count pitch, stranding 3. This is John Solfest as he is hitting for Frederickson. Interesting. John Solfest just finishing up his sophomore season. Boy, extended delivery on that one. Sometimes that can be tough for a hitter to pick up. That one hit sharply into left field for a single. So Solfest gets the job done. Frederickson was 0 for 3. He had hit the ball pretty hard in both the 3rd and the 5th before striking out in the 7th. If we do go to extra innings, Red does have a lot of options for catcher. Again, you cannot re-enter in playoff action. That one fouled away. I'm much more familiar with the South Campus field. That's where the games will eventually move over to. That one a little low. Throw to first. Well, you can definitely hear the benches here as they thought Foley waited too long during his throw to first base. And fouled away again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Fouled away once more. The May walked, stole a base in the third, was out on runner interference in the fifth, and popped up to the picture in the seventh. Swing and a miss. Nasty pitch there by Foley. Downs across first strike. Nice on the inside corner, 0-2. Nickel is 1 for 4. Base hit in the sixth, scored on the 2-run homer by Ross Endelkoffer. Low in the dirt. The other run was scored by Justin Langer. He was hit by a pitch, advanced to second and third on wild pitches, and then scored on a hit from Mawson. That is hit sharply foul. That one gets by the catcher, and I think that one more of a pass ball, but Solfest will advance to second. That one hit sharply. Nice play by Saylor, but with Hickle's speed, he is not going to have play there at first base. First and third, runners at the corners for Justin Langer. He is 2 for 4 on base with a base hit by a pitch, and scored in the 8th. Catcher Strong giving out the signals in case Red were to try and send the runner from first to second. That would be a little surprising when you've got two of the better hitters in the 4th district coming up, Langer and potentially Endelkoffer. Sharply foul. So Justin Langer calling for time. And another umpire there looks suspiciously like Gino Hansen. just missing outside. That one was definitely outside. Drawing the walk is Justin Langer. Oh boy. Bases are loaded. Again, you have to be careful to Endelkoffer, but only to a degree. A walk here would put the winning run in scoring position. Low in the dirt, ball one. Endelkoffer 1 for 3 with the big 2-run homer and a walk and a couple of strikeouts. Jepko is the on-deck hitter. That one's across for a strike, 1-1. And the winner of this game gets White Bear Lake, and the loser gets Lino Lakes. Fouled away. It'll certainly be a tough one for the loser to have to play right away after an emotional game like this against your arch rival, where it's really gone back and forth. Hit sharply in the air to center field, going back, way back, it's gone! A grand slam walk-off for Ross Endelkoffer. Oh my goodness. You don't see those every day, folks. To recap the night, Solfest hit for Fredrickson. He got on, strikeout for LeMay, hit for Nickel, a costly walk to Langer, and Endelkoffer with his second home run of the game, 6 runs batted in, and a grand slam as Red wins it 7-5. They will play later on against White Bear, and Maroon has the difficult task of trying to regroup quickly and play against Lino Lakes. What a comeback for Tri-City Red here in the quarterfinals of the Sub-State 8 playoffs.